Adam is surprisingly skilled at this typical mom task. There was definitely a learning curve for Adam, who had to adjust to being the only male in the house. Since he's, well, outdaughtered, he's had to learn more about fashion and girls' hairstyles than he ever expected to. Usually the mom takes on most responsibilities, having to do stuff like fixing hair, picking out outfits, and matching hair bows with outfits for the girls, he told Parade. Outdaughtered star Adam Busby grew up in the same small town as his wife. The untold truth of Adam Busby. When Adam Busby, patriarch of TV's Busby family, is shown on Outdaughtered, you can't help but be charmed. There's just something so totally sweet about seeing a man and his adorable daughters. But he is, of course, more than just a father to six kids. Adam is also a husband, an entrepreneur, and a total whiz with a camera. Adam has been through a lot in life, much of which was documented by TLC's cameras. While Adam and his wife, Danielle Busby, first made national news for giving birth to the only set of all-female quintuplets in the United. Outdaughtered shows a lot of Adam's life with his 6 daughters and wife, but it doesn't show everything. The super dad has a lot going on, and a hit reality television series is only part of it. He may be known for doting on his daughters and being a total family man, but there's more to learn about him. Outdaughtered star Adam Busby grew up in the same small town as his wife. On Outdaughtered, Adam Busby and his family are seen living in a small town outside of Houston, Texas. It definitely seems as though the Busbys are happy there, but that isn't actually where they are from. In fact, Adam grew up in Lake Charles, Louisiana, which is also the same town his wife is from, and where they met for the first time when they were both. Outdaughtered fans have been able to watch the Busbys travel home to Louisiana in more than one episode of the TLC show to celebrate holidays and events with their families. Considering they are a family of 8, it's never exactly an easy trip, but it's clear that both Adam and wife Danielle Busby treasure Lake Charles, even though they have now made Texas their home. It's also pretty special to see how far Adam and Danielle have come since living in their hometown. Outdaughtered's Adam Busby suffered from male postpartum depression. One of the best things about Outdaughtered, and one of the many reasons fans love it so much, is that Adam Busby and wife Danielle Busby are both super honest about their struggles in raising 6 daughters. Specifically, on Season 2 of Outdaughtered, Adam opened up to his wife about how he had been feeling really down, and he was later diagnosed with postpartum depression. It was a tough time for the couple, but they were able to come out on the other side stronger then. In a statement released to people ahead of the episode featuring Adam talking about his postpartum depression, he explained that he felt he had an obligation to open up about what he was going through. "I want to make sure that I bring awareness to the realities of postpartum depression and other mental health issues," he told the Outdaughtered's Adam Busby has gone through his fair share of grief. While Adam Busby and his wife, Danielle Busby, were working together to help him with his postpartum depression, it wasn't long before Adam reached out to someone else who could understand what he was going through. On Outdaughtered, fans watched as Adam grew close to Jared Wilson, a pastor who had struggled with depression. The two bonded and grew. Sadly, in September 2019, Wilson took his own life, and both Adam and Danielle were heartbroken to learn about the loss of their friend. Taking to Instagram to share the sad news, Adam wrote in a heartfelt caption, "My heart is so broken." He went on, "In one of the darkest and most confusing times of my life, Jared Wilson sought me out. When I pushed him away and ignored his persistent attempts to help, he stayed right there and wouldn't be defeated." Adam has definitely gone through his fair share of. Adam Busby has changed up his career path since starring on Outdaughtered. Obviously, viewers of Outdaughtered can't help but wonder what exactly Adam Busby does for a living. After all, it has to take a pretty hefty income to support 6 daughters on top of himself and his wife, Danielle Busby. Interestingly enough, Adam has actually had quite a big career shift since appearing on Outdaughtered, and he seems to have found his passion. On Season 5 of the hit show, Adam was seen starting his own media company. Previously, Adam worked as a key account manager at Intrinsic Solutions and Sprint Safety, according to his LinkedIn profile, but he left in July 2018 after over 11 years. In 2018, Adam started working for himself at his company Busby Media, and he landed some pretty big clients, as was seen on his family show. In fact, Adam was offered a big position with a company in Dallas in Season 5, via. But fortunately, he was able to negotiate the position to stay in Houston for his family. Does OutDaughtered's Adam Busby want more kids? 6 children may seem like a lot for some people, but the Busbys never say never, it seems. Of course, having quintuplets definitely put kids out of Adam and Danielle Busby's minds for a while. Still, Adam isn't opposed to welcoming more children into their lives. However, if they do decide to have more kids, they probably won't be having them the old-fashioned way. In an interview with Us Weekly, OutDaughtered's Adam Busby revealed that he and Danielle would never completely shut the door on adding another little one to their big family via adoption. It's something we'll always stay open-minded to, he shared. But he added, as far as her birthing any more children, no, that's not going to happen. So while the Busby house may be packed with kids, Danielle and OutDaughtered star Adam Busby has defended his wife against mommy shamers. As both Adam and Danielle Busby live so much of their lives in the public eye, it's unfortunately only natural for them to have to deal with trolls and parent shamers on the internet. For instance, on Season 5 of OutDaughtered, Adam and Danielle were faced with a tough decision when one of the Quints, Riley Page, did really well on her placement test and her teachers suggested she move up to kindergarten. Mommy shamers came for Danielle after she announced Riley was moving up a grade, with one person taking to social media to say, "Why does it seem like the entire?" Fortunately, Danielle has Adam by her side, and he will always stand up for his wife against the mommy shamers. People are looking at our photos and looking at our posts under a microscope just to find out what they can criticize about it, Adam Busby told People. Internet trolls are the worst, but thankfully Danielle has Adam there for her. It took OutDaughtered star Adam Busby time to adjust to having Quints. Naturally, the news that he was going to have 5 children all at once came as quite a shock to Adam Busby, as it probably would to just about anyone. Considering all the emotions Adam and wife Danielle Busby went through when the Quints were born, it couldn't have been an easy adjustment to suddenly have 5 more kids to care for, especially since they needed extra care when they were born. As fans of OutDaughtered know, the Quints entered the world weighing about 2 pounds each and had to spend time in the Newborn Intensive Care Unit NICU, as noted by a post on the family's blog once Adam and Danielle got the Quints home, though, another kind of stress. In an interview with ABC6, Adam explained how he was transitioning to having the quintuplets at home. "You want to be so frustrated and so tired," Adam said, "but you look down and one smiles at you, and you can't be frustrated." How Adam Busby really feels about sharing his life on national television with OutDaughtered. When Adam and Danielle Busby made national news for having Quints Ava Lane, Olivia Marie, Hazel Grace, Parker Kate, and Riley Page, they weren't exactly used to being in front of cameras and sharing their lives with the public. They were just a normal family, which they still are, though a much bigger one. However, over the years and throughout all the interviews and seasons of OutDaughtered, Adam has gotten pretty used to sharing his life on national television. In an interview with Good Morning America, Adam Busby was asked what it was like to have cameras follow him and his family through so much of their lives. "We had them with us from the very beginning and we got used to it pretty quick," he said. Additionally, he explained that the family and the camera crew were actually pretty close and almost became like family members. He added, "I mean, Blake was calling." OutDaughtered star Adam Busby's real thoughts on having all girls. For basically anyone who watches OutDaughtered, it's pretty obvious that Adam Busby is completely smitten with all 6 of his daughters. However, because Adam is a man, many fans wonder if he's upset that he doesn't have a son to share a bond with or to carry on his family name. And while Adam did reveal to Us Weekly that he and his wife, Danielle Busby, were open to adopting son in the future, it's not something he's too concerned about. On their It's a Buzz World blog, Adam opened up about what it was like to have all girls. "Lots of people have been asking me if I am bummed that I'm not getting a boy," he wrote. "Yes, it was a little bit of a disappointment, but in the whole scheme of things I am completely fine with it." Adam wrote that blog post before the Quints were born, and he explained that his biggest concern at the Time wasn't the sex of the babies, but their health. Coming home with my outdaughtered's Adam Busby almost caused a pregnancy scare. After Adam and Danielle Busby had 5 babies at one time, it would make sense that the couple wouldn't want to get pregnant again anytime soon. So, as fans learned on OutDaughtered, Adam. However, on one episode of OutDaughtered, Danielle became stressed because her period was late, and she didn't understand what was going on. It was only then that Adam revealed he never went back to the doctor after his procedure to make sure that the vasectomy actually took and that he couldn't get his wife pregnant. Obviously, it was frustrating for Danielle to hear that. "I can't believe you," she told Adam, covering her face with her hands. It turned out that the couple, OutDaughtered's Adam Busby, has had to make some tough decisions. While Adam Busby was definitely been lucky enough to start his own media company in 2018, that doesn't mean that the career shift was necessarily easy to maneuver. In fact, on Season 5 of OutDaughtered, when Adam was transitioning into his new business, there was an opportunity for him to move to Dallas and to make a lot more money. However, as his wife and children are in Houston, it was a tough decision for Adam to make. So tough, in fact, that the decision of whether or not to take the job caused a lot of tension between Adam and wife Danielle Busby, and it also led to many viewers getting angry at Danielle for not supporting Adam in taking the job, as reported by In Touch. "Your husband accepted a good job to better you and your kids, why are you angry?" one person said in a comment. It was definitely a rough time for the couple and showed how much stress Adam was under when it came to his career. OutDaughtered's Adam Busby loves to spend time with his wife. With 6 kids running around, work to keep up with, and a camera crew following them around most of the time, it's a wonder how Adam and Danielle Busby find time for themselves. However, it's clear that spending time together is important to the couple. In an interview with Us Weekly, Danielle stated, "Don't ever give up on your date nights," and it's obvious Adam agrees. In fact, the two went on a romantic vacation for their 13th wedding anniversary in 2019, which OutDaughtered's Adam Busby documented on Instagram. Alongside a sweet selfie of him and his wife on vacation, Adam wrote, "She still makes my heart skip a beat." There's no doubt that Adam enjoys spending time with his wife, and when you consider how crazy their life is, no one really deserves it more than those two, who are still totally in love. Working out is important to OutDaughtered star Adam Busby. OutDaughtered's Adam Busby values fitness and nutrition. While it's not always easy with 6 kids and a demanding job, Adam definitely thinks it's important to be physically active and healthy. In fact, Adam even did a sweet segment with TLC called Lose the Dad Bod, in which he did a daddy-daughter workout with one of his adorable Quints. Fortunately for Adam, his wife, Danielle Busby, is also super passionate about health and fitness, so he has a great built-in accountability partner. On the It's a Buzz World blog, Danielle wrote about how she manages to find time for fitness with 6 kids. "We all find time to eat and sleep, but finding time for fitness/exercise is just as important," she wrote. Clearly, the Busbys are a family that likes to keep active, and Adam isn't going to let anything else get in his way when it comes to living the lifestyle he wants to, and honestly good for. OutDaughtered's Adam Busby has a strong belief system. While Adam and Danielle Busby don't talk about their faith on OutDaughtered all that often, they both have a super strong belief system. In fact, Adam even has the phrase Christ follower in his Instagram bio, and he has mentioned his Christianity more than once on social media. For example, when his friend Jared Wilson passed away, Adam took to Instagram to express his loss and noted that his faith was helping him keep it together. "God is still in control," he wrote. "No matter how much we don't understand. He is still in control, and he is love, and nothing can separate us from his love." Adam Busby has also thanked God for his 6 children in one Instagram post in 2018. He penned, "Thank you, God, for giving me the opportunity and ability to be daddy to these 6 miracles." The untold truth of OutDaughtered. Parenting is never easy, but it's even harder when you have 5 babies at once. Adam and Danielle Busby learned this the hard way in 2015 when they became the parents of the first surviving set of quintuplet girls in the United States. Soon, people were clamoring to know more about the family, and they landed their own reality show, OutDaughtered. The TLC show stars Adam and Danielle, their older daughter, Blake, and the Quints, Olivia Marie, Ava Lane, Hazel Grace, Parker Kate, and Riley. Anyone would have a hard time taking care of so many babies at once, but the Busbys somehow make it look simple. How do they manage to take care of so many girls, and how does Adam feel about being the only male in the house? We have so many questions, and there's so much we don't get to see on the show. Check out the unknown facts we dug up about this interesting family. Their love story started at Target. The Busby family got its start with a not-Catiso, timeless love story. While it may not sound very romantic, Danielle and Adam met as co-workers at Target. They worked together for months before Adam worked up the courage to talk to Danielle, but it wasn't quite love at first sight. According to Danielle, their first date never happened because Adam decided to hang out with his friends instead. It wasn't exactly the best start to their relationship. Danielle later wrote, "On the family's blog, it's a buzz world. At this point I'm thinking, this guy, who does he think he is, ditching me? I'm done with." Fortunately, Danielle decided to give Adam a second chance. After 2.5 years of dating, Adam surprised her with a proposal, and they were married 6 months later. It just goes to show that even the sweetest love stories can have humble beginnings. Being pregnant with Quints requires you to eat a lot of calories. People are familiar with the phrase eating for two, but Danielle had to eat for 6 people when she was pregnant with her babies. Growing quintuplets means that you have to eat a lot of food to sustain the life growing within, and Danielle rose to the challenge. She told Fit Pregnancy that during certain parts of her pregnancy, she had to eat. That's a lot of food, and it wasn't always easy, especially for someone who was used to healthy eating and getting a lot of exercise. Fortunately, Danielle managed to avoid the pregnancy cravings so many women experience when they are expecting a baby. "I had not one craving ever because I worked with a dietitian and I was able to eat pretty much whatever I wanted to just fill up that allowance, especially ice cream. Up that allowance, especially ice cream shakes," she said. It was unlikely that all 5 babies would survive. Having Quints can be dangerous, and the babies don't always survive. Babies in multiple birth pregnancies are born smaller, and doctors have to take extra precautions after birth to ensure their survival. Even with modern medicine, sets of surviving quintuplets are still fairly rare. The first known quintuplets to survive were born in 1934. The Busby Quints had to spend a couple of months in the hospital after they were born. Danielle and Adam had to wait a whole week before holding their babies, so that highly anticipated moment was overwhelming for them. It was an emotional downpour, Danielle told Today. "It's been hard to see your baby in the isolates, but that moment where you finally get to touch your baby and hold them, there's no better feeling than that." Though, once their babies were healthy enough to hold, a whole new set of challenges set in. When it comes to preemies, even changing a diaper can be scary. It's pretty overwhelming because they're so tiny. I don't want to grab. They had to fight their doctors to keep all 5 baby. The Busbys got more than they hoped for when fertility treatments resulted in Danielle conceiving 5 babies. They were hoping for twins, but the couple rose to the challenge in spite of the doctor's concerns. "At first they didn't want us to have all 5, Danielle told local news station KTRK, "due to the many risks associated with the multiples." As is typical when carrying so many babies, Danielle was not able to carry the Quints to term. They were delivered by C-section at 28 weeks and 2 days. While the babies were on the small side even 2 months after birth, all were under 6 pounds, they were all healthy. According to Adam and Danielle, their Quints are a miracle, they told. Adam suffered from postpartum depression. There are still a lot of misconceptions about mental illness, and postpartum depression isn't immune. A lot of people think of postpartum depression as something that exclusively affects the person who gives birth, but it can affect their partners as well. Adam opened up about his struggles with depression after Danielle had the Quints. Adam explained his decision to go public with his depression, telling people that he wanted to raise awareness. Showcasing how human we really are has really struck a chord with people, and I think in a strange way, we're helping others realize they don't have to have it all figured out either, he said. Adam said that after coming face-to-face with postpartum depression, he quickly learned that this is a very real struggle that dads all around the world go through, yet you rarely ever hear it talked about. Adam said that by being open about his depression and talking about it in interviews and on OutDaughtered, more people would learn about how postpartum depression can also affect men. I'd be doing an extreme disservice to our fans if I hid this from the public and wasn't honest with
them, he said.
How do they make ends meet on one's salary? Having kids can be expensive. Having 6 kids, with 5 of them in diapers at the same time, can do quite a number on your finances. The Busbys have managed to make ends meet, but it has been a challenge. When Danielle became pregnant with the Quints, they decided she would quit her full-time job, leaving Adam as the main breadwinner, while Danielle stayed home with the "We budget and we do what we can to make ends meet and make it work," Danielle told People. She emphasized that they believe their faith is what has made it all possible. God has always provided, no matter what the situation. He's protecting and guiding us and providing, and that's how we've done it. The money they make from OutDaughtered also goes a long way. Adam is surprisingly skilled at this typical mom task. There was definitely a learning curve for Adam, who had to adjust to being the only male in the house. Since he's, OutDaughtered, he's had to learn more about fashion and girls' hairstyles than he ever expected to. Usually the mom takes on most responsibilities, having to do stuff like fixing hair, picking out outfits, and matching hair bows with outfits for the girls, he told Parade. When you have 6 of them, you find yourself right in the middle of that.
I'm
better with a round brush than Danielle. Adam is also very conscious about being a role model for his daughters. It's a huge responsibility being a dad of a little girl, he said. Instilling confidence in her and truly showing her how her future husband, her future boyfriend, should treat her and teaching her not to accept anything less than that. That's my mindset every day. Danielle has mastered the at-home workout. Danielle loves to stay fit, but finding time to work out isn't exactly the simplest thing to do when you have so many children to take care of. Before she was pregnant with the Quints, Danielle felt like she was in great shape, but carrying 5 babies, not to mention eating 4,500 kcal a day, took a toll on her body. Since she doesn't have much time to get to the gym or take exercise classes, Danielle said that she got back into shape by working out at home. "I've customized my routine to fit in with my daily schedule," she wrote in a blog post on TLC's website. "To build strength, I do sit-ups and push-ups every day. And forget about the Stairmaster. I utilize our staircase for daily workouts too. On top of the workout, I get bringing 5 babies up and down the stairs all day. Pushing her kids in the stroller also counts as a workout." Danielle said that the total weight of the stroller, which seats 6, and the babies is around 200 pounds. Danielle believes she was made for this. With 6 kids in the house, things are bound to get a little hectic. Danielle and Adam do their best to stay on top of things, but sticking to a schedule is often easier said than done. Adam told Fit Pregnancy that keeping a schedule is vital, but you also just have to do the best you can and smile and go with it. It's a good thing that Danielle's career training prepared for the grueling role of being the mom to quintuplets. "In my previous job, I was a coordinator, and a lot of my job was planning and scheduling and organizing, and I was good at it," she told Channel Guide magazine. She clarifies that it was obviously extremely difficult, but planning and scheduling are things she says she's good at. "When I say I was created and made for this, I honestly, the whole family is super close." Anyone who watches the show knows that Busby family is tight-knit, but you may not know that they're also really close with their extended family. This means that family reunions can get pretty wild, since there are plenty of cousins for the Busby kids to play with. Members of the extended family often make an appearance on the show. Danielle told Channel Guide magazine that having her family as part of the show has made it more exciting. She said, "I love being able to capture moments with them. I'm glad they're all part of the show, and it's made good memories." Danielle also made it clear that these get-togethers are never just for the show. She said that when the cameras aren't rolling, she still loves to spend as much quality time with her. Their first daughter, Blake, was also conceived through fertility treatments. It's common knowledge, thanks to the show, that the Busbys conceived the Quints through fertility treatments because they wanted to give their firstborn child, Blake, a sibling. But the couple's fertility difficulties go back even further. After they got married, the Busbys tried to conceive a baby for nearly a year, but learned that Danielle didn't ovulate regularly and Adam had low testosterone motility and sperm count. They needed some help too. It took more than a year of trying to conceive Blake, but when it came time to expand the family, the Busbys knew what they were up against. Danielle began taking a drug called Femora to help her conceive. This time, she didn't have to wait as long before getting pregnant and conceived the Quints.